I'm Matt from the Fitness Academy in Hertford Regional. We're all fitness instructors and I'm going to show you some boxercise. So to start, music. Yeah. Right, well, what Paul's doing here is skipping. I'm just going to show a few techniques and then I'm just going to talk through what he's actually doing. So what Paul's doing is skipping, and it looks like an easy thing to do, but it actually takes great skill and technique. And to do it properly, you need to rotate your wrists without using the muscles in your arm, because you're going to fatigue them quickly. Also, you stand there, pause with your feet to use up your calves, and it gets you moving about while you're boxing. This is a great cardiovascular exercise, that's why they use it to train, and it's great for toning your muscles, especially your shoulders and calves. It tones your shoulders because they're fixators, but they're continuously being used while you're skipping, and it tones your calves and decreases the risk of fatigue whilst you're doing your martial art. You're fine. Can we move to the work, please? So what Paul's doing now is basic boxing stance. He's got his knees down, so he can distribute his weight forward and back and bring power through his legs and his hips. And as you see, he's moving forward and back, saying his toes at all times. This means he can move out of the way of punches and he can move in easily. When he moves to the right, he's going to lead with his right foot. When he moves with the right, he moves his right foot first and then brings his left foot over. And when he moves left, he leads with his left foot and then brings his right foot over, keeping on his toes the whole time. This prevents him from crossing over his feet, because if he moves to the right and crosses over his feet, then that means that you're off balance, and if you get hit, it's easier for you to get knocked down. And also, he can move in and out, and because his knees are bent, he can bring power through his punches. We're just going to move on to the kicking pads first. Just hold that. What I'm going to show you now is a left leg kick. The area you're going to hit is your quadricep there, because you want to create maximum damage to that muscle, because it's the main muscle at the front. And it also makes them slow down, and they can't bring a lot of power through their kicks and punches with this. I'm going to be striking the shin, not the foot, because if you connect with the foot, then you can bend it back and damage your tendons and ligaments. So first of all, what you do, you take a boxing stance, you step in at 45 degree angle with your right foot, stand on the balls of your foot, you turn your hips to bring the power around to your kicking leg, and then from here, you just kick the pad like that, and then bring your foot back. So I'll just do it again. Step in at 45 degree angle, bring your body weight back, and then kick to the quadricep there. So Paul's going to demonstrate a few kicks. Whilst I do this, just go on that side. Oh wait. Yeah. So first of all, he's going to step in with his right foot, staying on the ball with his foot still. He's going to bring his body weight to his left side, because that's the leg he's going to be kicking with. And then bringing the power through the hips and the leg, he's going to turn into the kick and connect with the quadricep. Good. You can do two more of them for me, please. One more. Like I said before, this will damage the quadricep, making your opponent slower to move about, and it will decrease the power in their kicks and punches. Okay, now, if you're at a higher level, if you're training the martial art like Paul does, he's a black belt in the martial art, then you can combine kicks together to create a combination. So what he's going to do now is going to left leg kick to my quadricep and then a right kick to my body. So if you just do that, people. You can see he's staying balanced for the whole time. Let's do it again. Kicks are great for increasing the strength in your core and for increasing the strength in your legs, because you're balancing at all times and you're bringing all the strength around. So we're just going to move on to do a bit of boxing on the pads. Just take a boxing stance. So as you see, Paul's in the boxing stance, he's keeping his stance low so he's well balanced. He's keeping his feet apart and they're not crossed over so he won't fall over. And he's got a boxing guard so that if you get hit in the head, then you're guarding your face. So what he's going to do now is going to perform a jab, so let's try a jab. And he's going to do another one. And you can see when he throws a jab, he's bringing it straight out with his shoulder, straight in front of him, and he's pushing down on his front leg to generate more power. Jabs are good for when you're moving in, to try and get close to an opponent if they're taller than you, and they're great for setting up power punches, as you'll see in a minute. So just I'm going to show you a right hand now, so you can do a right cross pull. Then you do another one. As you can see, when he throws the right, he twists his hips towards his right side and he bends his right leg slightly. Now, by doing this, you generate power through your leg and your hips, and then when he strikes, he's going to push all that forward and bring it out into the punch of the pad. Then just do another one for me. Good, and another one for me. Great. Now I'm going to show you a simple combination. It's called the 1-2. All it is a left jab and then a right cross. Let's just do one of them for me, please. And another one, please. Okay, so what he's doing is with the jab, he's pushing forward to set up the right hand, and then he's bringing all the power around to do it. So if you do another one, please. Another. Okay, now I'm going to show you a left hook and a right hook. We're going to start with the left hook. So if you just do a left hook for me, please. That's great, and another one. Okay, as you see, when he's doing the left hook, he's standing in the boxing stance to begin with, but he's going to bring his body weight down to his left side. So he starts by twisting his hip towards his left side, bending his front leg, so he's generating power through there, and from there he's going to just twist up and hit the pad. So if you do another one, and he's connecting with the side of his hand, because he's going to make it as big as he can to get a strike area. So let's do it again. And now he's going to show you the right hook. So just perform right hook, just move around this way. Perform a right hook for me, please. Great, and another one. Okay, as you can see, like the left hook, he's bringing his body weight down to his right side by bending his hip and his leg to generate power. As he comes up, he's going to bring all that power around to strike the pad. So if you do that again, and again, hold, please. That's good. Okay, now we're going to move on to a bit of wrestling techniques, like the basic moves that wrestlers do. What we're going to do is basic technique that wrestlers do. This is for I've showed you a bit of striking, now we're going to show you a bit of grappling. So what they do, they start off in this position, like this. One of them's got a hand under and the other one's got a hand under. Your stance is low to the ground, so if he pushes against my body, I'm not going to fall back. If I push against his body, he's well balanced too. So what we're going to do, when he puts one arm under, I'm going to slip one arm under as well, so if he can't get both arms under like that, because that means he's at an advantage. So let's show him quickly. So what this does is it gets your memory used to doing this, your reflexes, and it gets your muscular memory used to it as well. So every time they go for both, you always slip one under, so you're not at a disadvantage. Now I'm going to show you a basic trip in wrestling. So what I'm going to do is from here, I'm going to try and get both hands under, grab it in his lower back there, and then push him back. So I'm pushing down in his body weight, pushing him off balance. I'm going to step over the other leg and trip him over like that. And then from here, so from here, I've moved into side control like this. Right, let's round like that. Straight this way. So from there, I'm landing in something called side control, which is I'm just in the side of his body and I'm controlling him so he can't push up. I've got his right arm here, so I'm going to trap that in between my legs so he can't move it. And then I'm laying my body weight across his body so it's hard for him to push up. Now I'm going to grab onto his wrist of his left hand so he can't push up with that. On the outside grip, and bring my right hand underneath through that and grip that onto my wrist. And from here I'm going to over rotate his shoulder, which will cause him pain, so he'll need to tap, which is a submission. So I'm just going to do that. So that over rotates the shoulder, which can break it or dislocate the shoulder. Okay, thank you for watching my demonstration. We're over there at School 36. I'll be doing submissions and boxing all day. If you want to come over and learn some submissions, then you're more than welcome to.
Absolutely awesome there. Thank you very much. So these guys are over in the far corner. That's where you guys are, yeah? Hertford Region College? Yeah, right in the far corner. So if you're interested in anything they've been talking about, they'll be in the far corner there. So my left, your right, back corner of the room today. You can find out more about what those guys are doing and maybe a bit more training. Maybe you fancy becoming an instructor or being instructed. They'll be there to teach you a bit more about it there. So thank you very much to the guys there. So coming up next, we've got one of our bands. We've got the band